Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the show. My name is Drew for Dynamic Menace, and we are playing Sonic the Hedgehog today. That's right, Big Blue, the blue blur, the fastest thing alive. But this is not an official Sonic game. We are outside of the law on this one. Sega has no idea what we're doing. Keep this one under your hat. That's right, Sonic the Hedgehog and the Fallen Star, everybody. Right, so this game was developed by a team named Stardrop, and right away you're going to be able to tell they added animated cutscenes, right? And it's going to be a constant throughout the game. After every zone, they're going to tell you a little story and tell you what's going on, what Eggman's up to, what his scheme, what his plot is, and what we're doing to stop him. All right, and just look at that. This game is drenched in style. Everything they did with Sonic Mania, I feel they took the original formula, right, and jazzed it up a little bit with the OG Sonic from Sonic 1, 2, and 3. And I feel like this game cranks it up to an 11 from there, right? A lot of the art style harkens back to one of the most celebrated Sonic artists working today, Tyson Hess. So like with a lot of the animations, they harken back to his work. So when you see him do like the drop dash, throws his arms out, yanks him back into his body to kind of whip himself into a ball. That's a Tyson Hess special. When he does his super burnout, his legs go nuts. That's all Tyson Hess do. Ooh. All right, and we got our first special stage. We're hunting some Chaos Emeralds. All right, so when I first played this, I was a little confused. I didn't get it. I felt like it was probably like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, right? They don't really explain it to you. So I felt that you had to collect a certain number of spheres before you were allowed to progress to the next lap of the race, right? Not so. What you gotta do is you gotta collect them both, the spheres and the rings, because the spheres speed you up and the rings put time on the clock, right? You need them both in order to catch up to the Chaos Emerald. So you want to be going at top speed, right? And when you're at top speed, the ball at the top of the screen will flash orange like that. All right. And I think we got one more lap to go. Yeah, a big reason why I had a hard time like figuring out what was what is because I was so laser focused on what was going on screen that I couldn't look at any of the gauges or dials and stuff around the edges of the screen. But if you do a good job, you get the thumbs up of approval from Sonic, right? Getting validation from Sonic always feels good. But I really enjoy seeing all the passion and love from fans and then pour that into a project, right? Or whatever they're passionate about. We don't get that enough just in general today. And most frequently, I believe we've played the fan mod from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, sponsored by Maximilian Dude, a prominent YouTuber, who just kind of took matters into his own hand. So if you are unaware, sorry if I'm beating a dead horse and you've already heard me talk about this before, heard multiple people talk about this. Quick rundown. Marvel vs. Capcom is a franchise that's been going on since the 90s, right? And it was essentially built on the backs of the X-Men. Right? X-Men Children of the Atom was the first game, I believe, in the franchise. Then you had games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter and eventually Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. And the X-Men were front and center. They were the backbone of this franchise. Storm, Sentinel, and Magneto were huge linchpins, like legacy characters that were incredibly popular in the fighting game community right? Smash cut to about 2016, I believe. Now Disney owns Marvel, right? And the MCU is in full effect. And Disney is very much the type of company that is all about like brand control, right? And because they don't own the film rights to the X-Men, they're trying to downplay them, not just in this game, but just in comics in general. They were being expunged, you know? So when they were working with Capcom to create this game, they didn't want any X-Men. And when they started showing off like trailers and promotional material, the X-Men were suspiciously absent. And people were just really just not happy with what we were seeing. Like, Capcom was cutting corners too. They were not spending a lot of money on it. From what I heard, Capcom spent the equivalent for the entire game. It was about the same amount they spent on one season of DLC for Street Fighter V. Not a lot of money for a full game. For like a big release like this, Marvel vs. Capcom should be a big release for them. So there was just a lot of things going on, and the game came out. It died immediately. And like Max he's made videos mourning, not even just that game, but we all thought that Marvel vs. Capcom might be done as a franchise. We might not get another one. We thought Marvel and Capcom were mad at each other and they just weren't going to work together anymore. There's been other little hints that they might be cool in the time since, but right after Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out, we thought it was done. You know, it was a dark. And we've seen something like this before. They called it the Dark Ages when Street Fighter 3 came out in the arcades and it bombed, and Street Fighter went away for approximately 10 years. You know, we thought that's the direction we were headed. So, fast forward to earlier this year, Max came across a modder by the name of Rin, who created an engine that fixed some of the visuals. You know, the art style that they initially went with was a more realistic art style to kind of match up with the MCU. What they're trying to push now is the MCU versus the comics. Marvel vs. Capcom always has been a celebration of the comics and the comic book characters. You get some really weird or obscure comic book characters here and there, you know? And they kind of scaled it all way down with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And they kind of toned down how crazy and bonkers and just bombastic it was. You know, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, when you go into a super, like the comic book pages rip open and you see like this vortex of swirling crazy shit going on in the background while your character does their super bombastic hyper move, you know? All that is toned way down in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, you know? So they could only fix so much with this mod, but they did fix a lot of the visuals. They gave it more of a comic book art style. It was cel shaded. It looked like more of what you'd expect to see in animation. In addition, another problem with the art style was that they were taking models from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and that engine was completely different. The engine it was running on was completely different. I believe it was the MT framework. When they moved to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I missed it because I'm running my mouth. When they moved to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, they switched over to the Unreal Engine. But they tried to use models from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they just weren't compatible. They didn't translate well at all. Most notably, like Dante and Spencer, Chris, Chun-Li's face was like first blood. That was the first time we looked at this thing. They showed a trailer and we were like, what the fuck is that? You know? And we knew right away that something was up and there was something funky going on here. So, but Max came out of his own pocket and put up the bat signal. Anybody with talent who wants to help out, help us fix this thing, show up. And they did. Like, people showed up with artwork for the menus. People showed up to do music for the menus and the in-game OST. And when it's all said and done, he put out a product that has been doing gangbusters this last week or so. I think he said it was like 50,000 downloads in the first day or two. Hold on, I gotta focus. I deal with Robotnik's big dumb punchy robot. But yeah, that's an example of a fan having a positive impact, putting their money where their mouth is, and hold on. Okay. And that game is so much better. The game is so much better. And a lot of people are giving it a shot who completely skipped it just because of how ugly it was, you know? And there is fun to be had there. Like, I played it. I liked the active tag system. The biggest problem for me is that I didn't really have a character to play. Like, in X-Men vs. Street Fighter, I played Rogue and Magneto. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I played Rogue and I built a team around her. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I played Magneto. So all my characters were gone. So I still don't have characters that I'm gelling with, but the characters that are there, I enjoy. Like, I've been using Jetta and Spider-Man, and now Jetta and Venom, and they look incredible with the graphical update that Max has given them. They actually gave Venom the art style like the 90s Spider-Man animated show, and it looks amazing. So yeah, all that is to say is I love seeing all the passion put into projects like this, you know, and they come out amazing, and they look like they could stand shoulder to shoulder with the official product, or better than the official product in the case of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Here we go. We're getting a little story. Just like I said, we're getting these animated cutscenes that letting us know what kind of nefarious plot and plan scheme Robotnik's up to. He's clearly gotten his grubby little mitts on the fallen star, which I'm assuming is the source of ultimate power. We got to stop him. Or check that. Maybe there's two, or the star chooses who it goes to. Or it's just a cock tease and it breaks up right in your face and scatters like the fucking Dragon Balls. All right, now we got our inciting incident, everybody. We know what the stakes are. Let's boogie. All right. And we are playing a good amount of Sonic the Hedgehog on the show lately. Usually I try and space out entries in a franchise. You know, like if we were playing Mario 2, it would be a while before we played another like Mario 3 or something like that, you know? But I felt like, because we just got done playing Shadow Generations, I felt like 2D Sonic and 3D Sonic are different enough where I could kind of say, okay, we'll give it a pass, just because the movie came out too. Right? Gotta feed that algorithm. But also, I just love this game. And also, we are celebrating Sonic handily kicking Mufasa's balls in. That initial weekend, like Sonic trounced Mufasa. And I remember that was like the big discussion, like, well, not the big discussion, but like people were, who's gonna take this weekend? Is it gonna be Sonic or is it gonna be Mufasa? And it was always gonna be Sonic. But yeah, I also enjoy that seems like Disney is not super pumped about the fact that Mufasa didn't perform or outperform everybody and take the top spot. You know, they want to be able to put out that commercial that says they're the #1 movie in America. Like, no, you're not. You're not. You're not. Not if this little blue hedgehog has anything to say about it. But I heard they've engaged in a little bit of dirty pool as well, because the word on the street is that Disney has been muscling movie theaters into giving up extra screens for Mufasa, essentially taking them away from Sonic and other movies that are out right now. Which, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Like, Disney is good for that kind of fucking bullshit. I've heard many stories of them doing stuff like that. I know the regime is different, but the machine is the same. Like, even way back when Robin Williams was cast as the genie, like, they did some shady shit like this. Like, you don't know, when he was cast as the genie, he had like one stipulation, or I'm sure he had a few, but like one of the big ones was that he didn't want his character to be used to sell crap to kids, right? That was it. And Disney agreed to it, and almost immediately, like, the first poster they put out was just the lamp. That was it. No, but after that, the genie was fucking everywhere. He was front and center. He was in, I think they had like Burger King toys and shit. So they held true to their verbal agreement for about 37 seconds, and then they were like, nah, ink's dry in the contract, bro. Because Genie is the big ticket seller in that movie. Like, they're not gonna miss an opportunity to like draw people in and make money. And Robin Williams always held that against them. For a long time anyway. They eventually like apologized to him, and I think they kind of made up. And he came back for like Aladdin 3. But for a long time he was like, fuck you guys. Disney did that same kind of shit to George Lucas, right? Like, I think they when they were going through that transaction, they were buying Star Wars from him. Like, they had the sit down with him, and they were gassing him up and telling him, like, we have so much respect for what you've done and your impact on pop culture and science fiction and the way stories are told and blah blah blah. And George Lucas was like, yeah, I poured a lot of my life into this, and you know, I always had a vision for where the stories would go, and and they're like, well, we look forward to carrying on those stories and taking them out into the world and being the custodians and carrying your dreams and your visions out into the world. And as soon as George Lucas walked out of the room, they were like, Kobe, threw that shit right in the wastebasket and came back with their own shit they wanted to tell, which was, I mean, we can be real, right? I'm gonna keep it a stack. They want to push like a more feminine version of Star Wars, right? And that's not inherently bad, but the way they went about it was bad. You know? I'm not gonna bash on Star Wars too much. I'm just saying, like, the way things have been executed, the way things have been going at LucasArts has not been swimmingly, we'll say. But yeah, all this is to say that, like, Disney's not the coolest company to deal with. All right, let's see. I am a Chaos Emerald behind because I missed one because I was running my mouth, spinning a yarn, telling a story, and I fucked up because I wasn't paying attention. All right, let's try and make up for it. All right, I think we can do it. All right, focus, get loose, get limber. All right, that was just the first lap. Now we're gonna kick it into overdrive. All right, I think I got like 3 more laps to go. All right, we got a minute left. All right, come on, Jim. You got this, buddy. Nope. Oop. All right. Maybe I can get through this lap. Finish it with this one. I need to get to top speed though, like pronto. Damn it. Damn it, Drew. Damn it. All right. All right. I think we can make it. Yeah. I've got enough rings. I screwed up on building enough speed, but I think we made up for it with our rings. See. We are chugging along right now. All right. Oh, this performance is nothing short of underwhelming. All right, all right, all right. All right, we made it though. All right, we got our Chaos Emerald. We made it by the hair on our chinny chin chin. All right, so quick question. If and when we get a Sonic the Hedgehog 4 movie, what character do you want to see show up? If somebody showed up that you've been waiting to show up and they haven't, and you've been sitting in the movie theater, arms folded, harumphing because Big the Cat hasn't showed up yet, or Fang or something, you know? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. I know there's a lot of characters, and I'm not particularly familiar with all of them. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't know if I'm going the right way. All right, I think we are nipping on Robotnik's heels. Right around the corner. I can almost smell him. All right, woo, woo, woo. There we go. Here we go. Yep. All right, what is it? It's the train. Yeah, all right. All right. Everybody ready? Boss fight with the Atlanta transportation system. All right. And then the spring. Gotcha. All right. All right. Just gotta concentrate. Gotta focus a little bit. Not too tricky, but there is a little bit of timing. All right. Gotcha. All right. Let's see Evan Peters do this shit. Yeah, I want Sonic to have like beef with not just like Quicksilver and the Flash, but actually the actors who portray them. You know, like he can't tell the difference. It's all the same shit. He's offended that you would even portray a fast character. You know? Whoa, 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 all right. We're almost done. We're almost done. Aaron Taylor Johnson could suck my blue hedgehog nuts. Whoa, Sonic. You know, he's just an actor, right? Like, he fucking... I gotta take that shit personal, bro. But he's like all about Ben Schwartz. He's like I like Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz is awesome. I like Parks and Rec. So you don't think it has anything to do with your bias about him portraying you in the movie? It's like, no, I liked him before. He's just a good thespian. All right, on to the next zone. Riding the rails. From the jungle to the city. Tails is pumped. Just to see Amy Rose. Just busting Sonic's balls. Yeah, so we get these animated cutscenes. You get to see him bro out a little bit. Bravo, Star Drop. You really created something special here. All right. Also, I don't know if you've been able to hear like little click clacks throughout the course of the episode, but I am playing this on a fight stick. It wouldn't recognize my Xbox controller. What the fuck is that? I am not comfortable with this. I'm not comfortable with this statue at all. This fountain. It's a monstrosity. Sonic, get your people on the horn, bro. Like, they shouldn't be able to just use your likeness like that willy-nilly. I want Sonic to have like a high-powered agent that deals with shit like that for him. Yeah, if I can direct your attention to Section 2, Article B of my client's contract, it expressly states that you will not use my client's likeness for anything without his expressed written consent, right? That means you can't make stickers, you can't make shirts, you can't make a fucking Beanie Baby without my say-so, all right? If I come down here to this set and see so much as a porcupine doing more than a brisk walk, you will have my foot so far up your ass, your shits will smell like Dr. Scholl's foot pads for the foreseeable future. Oh, we got a boss fight. Boss fight time, everybody! Oh. All right, it's a ball with spikes and a police siren on it. Like, I don't know. I think Robotnik really phoned it in with this one. Right? Just getting that frustrated dealing with Sonic. He's just like, I don't know, like a constable fucking testicle. Right? I don't know. This hedgehog is driving me fucking nuts. Absolutely fucking nuts. Oh, god damn it. Okay. All right. Come on. Get him, Sonic. Get him. There we go. Even his little change of direction art, like his little sprite. I love it. He's just like, oh shit. He fucking changes direction. All the animation is so good. It's so good. All right, here we go. All right, I did mention the movies. I probably should mention my favorite parts of the movies, which is basically the performances. Ben Schwartz is great as Sonic. Like, I didn't know how much I was gonna love him before I saw the first movie, but he's an amazing Sonic. Idris Elba is probably my favorite character. His Knuckles is, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it. Same with Keanu. Like, I wasn't sure if it was gonna be a type of situation like, you know, you get a big actor and they're playing a character and you can't stop seeing the actor, you know, like I think a lot of people mention it with Ben Affleck for Batman. Like, I just can't stop seeing Ben Affleck, you know? All right. But yeah, Idris Elba absolutely crushed it as Knuckles. Same with Keanu. I feel like we already celebrate Jim Carrey, but even so, it needs to be said again. That guy is incredible. Like, he's essentially, I don't think anybody else could play that role. He is a cartoon character. But all right, I'm trying to focus and do this and fucking talk about the movie a little bit. All right, he's a cartoon character in a cartoon, you know, dealing with all these little cartoon woodland critters and stuff. And he's not just straight up out the gate kind of wacky and cartoon. He's a little eccentric at the beginning of the first movie, but he's more a progression of how insane he's going from chasing Sonic and them, you know, trying to gain this power. All right, hold on. I think this one's gonna be tricky because I have to time these jumps very specifically in order to get enough rings to have enough time to finish this. Ooh. All right. One more lap. I need just a few rings. Need a few extra rings. Where are they? All right. Those help out. Yeah, so by the time Robotnik gets to the Mushroom Planet, he has full on lost his marbles dealing with Sonic and them. All right, 20 seconds. Can I do it? Come on. Come on. Did we do it? Did we do it? Did we get it? Did we get it? I think we got it. I think we got it. Did we get it? We got it. Yeah, and I really don't think anybody would have been able to portray Dr. Robotnik as well as Jim Carrey did, you know? Because it really did require that vintage Grinch, Ace Ventura, The Mask Jim Carrey, you know, where he's just like wacky and cartoony and silly. Nobody does it better than that guy. All right, yeah, I have a nose for the boss fights. I can tell when that. Sheila, get Ari on the phone. There's another one of these fucking fountains out here. All right, I think we're almost at the end of this stage. We gotta find Robotnik and wrap up this episode. They got tails too. They got tails too. Oh boy. Okay. It has to be right around the corner, right? Feels like this level's been going on for quite a while now. All right, where are we going? I can see these fucking hideous ass fountains I'm zipping by too. Oh, they got Knuckles as well, but his isn't that bad. All right, let me see. Knuckles statue kind of looked like the Allen Iverson statue, right? Was that the one? Are we fighting the cops? Is he in the Mad Max mobile? Oh shit. My rings, bro. Need my rings. Hold on. Okay. He's really fucking whipping it out here, yeah? We get him? We got him? Shit. Whoa. There we go. Yeah, I feel like Sonic would have an issue with the police, right? It seems like he doesn't really fuck with authority figures. That's the one thing I call bullshit in the Sonic movies. Him and Tom would not be cool. All right, we rescued some more critters. Story time, children. We found a shard of the star. Found a star shard. Yeah, from what I heard, not to end this episode on a downer, this company or the team, Stardrop, they were working on a follow-up game called Sonic and the Moon Factory or something like that. And I was looking into whether or not it was released yet or it was still in production or what. And I came across this thing that said it had been canceled. So this is all we got. But I mean, there are worst ways to go out. Like a one and done, at least you put out an absolute banger. You know what I mean? All right. Robotnik dropped his evil scheme for us to check out. All right, collect the star and the Chaos Emeralds. Take the star for himself. Got it. Use it to power a fucking Star Destroyer. All right, this seems like classic Robotnik. Use it for world conquest. You know what? I feel like we could have pieced this one together ourselves. Right? We should have seen this coming. And I don't think I'm gonna blow anybody's hair back when I say that Robotnik's kind of a dick. Right? He is kind of an asshole. Relentless with these fucking schemes. Alright, but we got a piece of shard. We're going to pick this up next time, guys. I think we're going to keep playing this. We're going to do this for a few episodes. I heard it's not super long. So I want to estimate about like maybe 2 more episodes. But I'm having a lot of fun playing this. I really like this. aside from my Sonic fandom, I really think this is a good game. But I'm gonna wrap up. I'll see you next time. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Leave me a like if you like our content. Subscribe. You'll be around next time I drop an episode. And take care of yourself. See ya.